Hey, what's going on? I'm DJ Hazmat.
Yeah, and I'm Addy Wills.
Welcome to Matt and Matt Sports, second season. We in the building. What's going on? We talking about everything Cleveland.
You already know we'll be talking about the Cavs as they're, on a little 3-game win streak as the NBA nears their midseason break. Of course, we always gonna give our thoughts and opinions on whatever the Browns got going on, and we'll touch on the rest of the NBA as well. But we gotta,
but before we do
yeah,
that, we gotta address something. I don't know what the hate is in this here state. We're Cleveland. We're all the way up here in Northeast Ohio.
on the
Then
top.
you have Columbus, and then you have Cincinnati. And we knew about the beef, or so to speak, with Cincinnati. But I didn't know that people in Columbus had beef with Cleveland. Did you hear this?
Only when I saw the video, I didn't realize. I always just imagine, being born and raised in Cleveland and us being blessed with three, professional sports franchises in the major three sports in this country.
Yeah.
Being able to grow up on those things. I guess I took it for granted that Cleveland is not like every other city, not only across the country, but even in our own state. So we got word of something, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. There's somebody put out a video from Columbus.
Might be my cousin, the way he looks.
Is dogging the cities, not just us, that's dogging the cities of Cleveland and Columbus. Let's hear what they had to say.
People from Cleveland and Cincinnati be like, at least we have NFL teams. Damn! The same teams that haven't won Super Bowls? The same teams where y'all wear brown paper bags over your head for seasons? Our soccer team got more championships. Don't do this.
Bruh. Bruh.
Wow. Is that how it's going down?
First of all, don't dog me and then talk about your soccer team. That's all I'm gonna say.
We're bragging about soccer teams now? I mean, this is the United States of America. We ain't never cared about soccer. But I'm not going to disrespect soccer.
Right, of course not.
As a world sport, yes. We think of soccer in the same context as like Olympics. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of countries around the world. But we ain't never been good at hockey. Are we good at hockey? I don't even know.
We had a decent hockey team. Our hockey team wasn't bad. I think a few seasons ago they made like some kind of run in the playoffs where they weren't supposed to be there. But my thing is, what's the name of the Columbus team? And is it a Columbus team? Is it a soccer club? What do they call it? Is it a team in Columbus? What is the name of that team?
Don't do that to me, man.
Well, that's my point, bro.
For sake of him coming at me, I can't even bring light to whoever the soccer team is in Columbus, because you're comparing the Columbus soccer team to two major NFL teams in the NFL. Like, yes, you're right, sir. We don't have Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
We don't have Super Bowl rings in either city. Cincinnati has made it to the Super Bowl a couple times. They didn't win. We haven't gone there since they started calling them Super Bowls. But do they have championships in Columbus for soccer?
I could tell you that
No.
the NFL Hall of Fame ain't in Canton because of Columbus. Okay, football, the sport of football, the rich history here in Ohio goes through Cleveland and Cincinnati. And again, we're not bashing the Columbus soccer crew or whatever the name of that team is down there.
Columbus.
Yeah, I love Columbus, actually. I just don't understand why he's coming at. Not more than Cleveland, bro. Not more than Cleveland. Come on, it's still in Ohio City. It's the capital. But I'm not going as far. I would much rather live in the city of Cleveland than down in Columbus. Namely because if I wasn't born in Cleveland, I wouldn't be such a huge sports fan. Introduced to the Indians back in the 90s when they were balling, being told the stories about the Browns back in the 60s when they were balling, watching the Cavs, drafting LeBron. I mean, being in Cleveland and rooting for these three sports teams, these franchises that we have here is a luxury. And if I lived in Columbus, I would imagine that you would want to share in some of that love. Not hate on it because you're at home watching the
Well, hold on,
Buckeyes,
man.
and which of course we love the Buckeyes, but come
I
on,
have,
man.
I have to disagree with you there
On what part?
because just if you live in Columbus, you should root for Cleveland teams. Like, you know how far Columbus is from
I
here.
mean,
Listen,
yeah, but who you gonna root for?
my daughter went to Ohio State for a couple years. She didn't finish, but she went to Ohio State, and there were times where I had to drive her to campus and not even main campus. Her first year was at a different campus that was off site. Like, it was hours away from here. It was many. It was much time spent on back roads that I'd never seen before to get there. So what I'm saying is, I'm not gonna fault Columbus for not trying to go on the
Right.
coattails of Cleveland, but at the same time, it's like, this is America. We don't care about soccer. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're
Football?
gonna try to dog us and say that our national sports teams haven't won a Super Bowl, which is true, you can't count that in with soccer.
I would have respected it
Soccer.
more if he would have bigged up the Buckeyes, man. If he would have I mean, I wouldn't have respected hating on Cleveland regardless. But Buckeyes, I bet half the people in Columbus don't even know who their soccer team is.
Well, I'm sorry. I got people. I'm over somebody else's house, and I
Just
gotta
say,
do
damn,
this because I'm in
what the
a
hell is
space
going on?
that I shouldn't be. Hey, don't worry about where I'm at, dog.
I'm not tripping on you, dog. I thought I was getting a feed or somebody. I didn't know what was going on. All right. So
I didn't
look,
know either.
I don't want to make this about us bashing Columbus or bashing soccer. Like, much love
Well,
to
they
Columbus,
bashed
much
us.
love to soccer. It ain't they, it's that specific individual who
Who
I don't
was
know,
that
man.
dude in the first place?
I don't know, but his
No,
mother
no,
should have
I
hugged him
need
a
to
little
know
bit
who
more
he
when they
is.
was young.
Who is he?
I don't know. Maybe one
what
of our
makes him
producers
think
will know
that
that.
he can go on his platform and try and justify that you live in Columbus? Which, to be honest,
What up, PJ?
The metropolitan area is larger than Cleveland,
Yeah.
Northeast Ohio. But
Hey, Columbus
you know,
lit.
you
Like,
got
I ain't hating on the city.
listen, I'm not hating on Ohio State. I'm not hating on any of that. I get
Seti checking in from the Philippines. Shout out to you.
it. From the
Go ahead, dog.
Philippines.
Go from the
My
Philippines,
God.
dog.
You know what, Sissy? Let's move on. Let's talk about the Cavs now.
All right, so we're here, Mad Sports. We're continuing, of course, everybody that rocked with us during football season. We're going to transition and talk a little more basketball now. We'll talk about a little bit of the Brown stuff at the end here, but hey, the Cavs has 3-game winning streak. I know it's following a 10-game losing streak, but we have won 3 in a row, including a overtime victory over the Philadelphia 76ers, which now improves our record against them to 2-0 this season. They lead the East right now, but Colin Sexton and them boys trying to figure it out. Still no Kevin Love as of right now, and of course we all know that our big boy, Andre Drummond, yeah, he's on the shelf, until he finds a new home. But Cavs on a 3-game win streak, can't really be mad at the last week of basketball in Cleveland.
I could be mad at this. What place are we in the East?
Ooh, we're second to last, I believe, in the Eastern Conference.
Right there. So a 10-game losing streak, I can't get happy until there's at least a 6 or 7-game winning streak.
Yeah.
And yes,
don't hold your breath.
We beat the Philadelphia 76ers yesterday.
Right.
On a day when.
What up, Tracy
Joel
Cooper? You got your hello, baby. I'm sorry. We appreciate you rocking with us. I ain't want to miss nobody. Go ahead, Ash.
On a day when Joel Embiid scored 42 points. On a day when, uncharacteristically, Ben Simmons went for over 20 points in that game.
And was hitting threes.
Right. So,
right.
This is the thing about the Cavaliers.
It's going to be a long season.
It's hard to assess them because in that game, both of our backcourt, which is the strength of our team,
yeah,
they went for 51 points combined, Garland and Sexton. And so, but it seems like they do that all the time. Like they're saying, you're highlighting that in a game against the Philadelphia 76ers. But I don't think Colin Sexton has averaged less than 20-something points a game.
He's at about 23. Yeah, he's at about 23. He was right. Trying. The Cavs was trying to get him as a reserve, an all-star reserve. But it's some really talented players out there that got quote unquote snubbed this year. I don't think Colin is quite on that tier. quite yet, but he's moving in that direction. I can't be mad at the growth that he's shown year over year.
He's lucky that Coming to America is coming out on Friday, because we can justify whatever he's doing right now with the thing he's been growing since birth. All I have been saying.
You don't like the hairstyle that's what I'm picking up on, dog. Do you not agree with that hairstyle? The rat tail plus the whatever else you call that stuff sitting on top of his head.
It's not my place to judge his hairstyle. But at the same time, when that hairstyle is combined with out of control play in crucial moments of the game, then as an old person, I start to.
That's the first thing you're gonna say?
I'm just sitting up here like, what? He's just as wild as his hairstyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is what I'm looking at. So, keep your hair the same way it is. But if you gonna wear that hair with the Princess Zamunda tail, then you need to be a little bit more consistently, making a name for that hairstyle. Like that could have. Do you see any young boys wearing the Colin Sexton right now? You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely his own spin.
People emulate them. Nobody's emulating the Colin Sexton right now.
He's a kid though, man. What is he? 22, 23, somewhere in there. He's still a baby in life.
Jordan and Kobe and all of these superstars.
Hey, Kobe's
22 when they were
Kobe's hair wasn't the norm when he first, before he cut it a little bit later in his career. Kobe did the little nappy fro thing.
These young guys, and shout out to Jared Allen, because he's balling. He's putting up consistently good numbers.
Yeah,
and he wears that afro. And
wears the hell out of that afro.
This harkens back to the day when I first started watching NBA. There was a lot of that going on. And it was lot of that with a hole in the middle. Yeah, it was froze with the donut in the middle. Like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There was a lot of just, this is what it is.
Right.
What I mean? So, we went through that era with Allen Iverson where they cornrowed it and they did it. Now they're just like, this is what it is. And I'm just going to let this rock out. But if you're going to do that and you want it to be a trend, you have to be a star player. That's all I'm saying. All the time.
Yeah, and being a star player in a market like Cleveland, you got to be a little bit more than just your regular star if you really want to get people to buy in to the look that you're selling. I will say this about Colin Sexton: 23 points, 4 assists a game. He's still young in the league. He has room to grow. If there's one thing that I would like to see him pick up on, is just pass the ball just a little bit more. Just trust your teammates just a little bit more. Just a little bit. 4 assists a game, 23 and 4 ain't going to make you an all-star. You got to get them assists up or, round out the statistics in other ways other than just, being a scorer. And he has improved on his efficiency in scoring the basketball. So I can't really hate on the young boy Colin Sexton, man. Kevin Love, real quick before we move on. Okay.
I can hate if it's not helping the team win. So go ahead. You talk about Kevin
Facts.
Love, and then since you talk about passing the ball, we can pass it on to another subject.
Well, yeah, I just want to say before we just kind of touch on the rest of the NBA, Kevin Love, he played 2 games this season. He's making about $40 million this year. I think it's like $34 million this year. He's played 2 games, scored about 20 points on the year. And no, he will not be playing before the NBA's All-Star break, which is coming up at the end of this next week. So they're hoping that Kevin Love will be 100% healed from his calf injury when the Cavaliers come back, which will be on March 12th on the road against New Orleans. So I don't know. Kevin Love, a former All-Star, championship winner on this team, championship starter on this team. I need him to kind of get back into the swing of things with this team, man. I know you can't help but when you're hurt, but so, of course we always hear the best ability is availability. Go ahead.
When you say this about Kevin Love, give much props to Kevin Love for being able to get paid this much money to do nothing.
To do not a damn thing.
I can't hate on the man. But when you think about what he's going to offer when he comes back, like, what is it really going to mean for this team? Do you think it turns us into a championship caliber team? No.
Absolutely not. We know that.
Okay, so then I don't even understand what the extra discussion is. I think we should just give Kevin Love his props for getting all the money he can get after LeBron decided to bring him here when he was the GM. And and now he without playing. And Kevin Love, let me borrow $20.
Well, I will say this. I know the Cavs, and we highlighted that they're 10 or the second worst team in the Eastern Conference. There are only 3 games back at the 8th seed and 3 games back at the 10th seed. And this year, with the funky rules of postseason play, there's a play-in ability to get into the playoffs if you're in that 8, 9, 10 seed. We're only a few games back of that. We just went on a 3-game winning streak. If we can put together a few more wins, we might be able to fight into that 8, 9, or 10 spot and have a chance at a postseason appearance. It won't be a postseason run by any means, but
there you go.
I don't know. I mean, looking for the silver lining, bro.
I love that enthusiasm about you because you never have it about the Browns. But let's switch over to the Browns and talk about, is anything going on that front?
Yeah, man. I mean, the big story this week is Baker Mayfield. Where the question is whether or not he deserves the big extension. I mean, this is the year. What is he? He's 3 years in, right? So he's going into year number 4. Does he deserve that big boy NFL quarterback contract? Has he proven enough? And you guys watching can definitely answer that question as well. Do you think Baker Mayfield deserves an extension with the Cleveland Browns? I imagine I know where you're going, but I'll let you say.
About where
all right, go ahead, dog.
No, to be honest, I was going to ask you to answer that question first, and then I was going to come with my retort, because this is Baker's 3rd year, not 4th year, right?
Third, I believe. Yeah, I'll double check while we look.
Contract is for 4 years, right?
Right.
Okay, so Andrew Berry, who is supposedly critically acclaimed as being an astute and savvy business person, they could probably do Baker Mayfield the same way that the Dallas Cowboys did Dak Prescott, but just for 1 year though. You can't do that to him for more than 1 year, because I believe that there was enough doubt about Baker Mayfield that they could convince him to play for a year that he needs to prove himself again for that big contract. I don't know if you sign him to a big contract moving forward right now, only because I don't think, in the eyes of the majority of the NFL analysts and everything like that he's proven. Like, as long as there's people able to come out with some doubt about him, that hurts his case. Now, for me, I'm like, I just want a good quarterback, and I feel like Baker is a good quarterback, and he's going to play well for us for years to come. You know what I mean? But I understand the business aspect of it, that you're not just going to sign someone just for the sake of signing them because the fans love them, or, something like that. I don't know, you're probably surprised at this answer, but
a little bit.
Saying, yes, but I've always been a realist. You think I'm just a Browns whatever, but
I do.
It's not the case. It's not the case. I just don't hate on the player who dons the uniform. I give them an opportunity. That's the difference between you and I.
So I don't think I properly explained the situation with Baker. So they have the option until May 3rd. Until May 3rd, they can pick up the 5th year option on Baker. Get him at that, I think they said an $18 to $22 million range, which would be kind of a discount for a franchise quarterback on a yearly basis, right? Or they're weighing if they can sign him to the big one now, or let this year play out. Don't sign him to the 5th. Don't extend him to the 5th year option, and let this year play out, and then see at the end of this year if you want to offer him the big contract or not. What I would do, this is a conundrum. This is a rock and a hard place for the Browns, because we saw it with Carson Wentz and players like him, Jared Goff, Sometimes you throw all that money out there and them guys turn into duds. And then you can't fill out your roster because you have so much money dedicated to one person. So I don't really know what the Browns should do. I think what I would do is probably just give them the 5th year, sign them to that 5th year option, get them for this year and next year, and at least have them on your roster with this. I mean, on your team with this roster in place. Use this year as a barometer and see where you stand. And if he balls out or if he even comes close to what he did last year, then I would probably seriously consider giving him that big contract. And if he's not the guy, then I don't know. You roll the dice and see what you can do after that. But I'm scared about Jared Goff. The Jared Goff thing and the Carson Wentz thing scares the hell out of me in this situation because those guys are unproven. And to me, Baker is not proven himself as the guy yet. I know he's capable, but I don't know if he can be the guy for the next 5, 7, 10 years.
Can he be the guy for the Browns? That's all that really matters. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
I'm thinking he can. I've always thought that he could be. I just, he was a number 1 pick. He did what he did in his college ranks. He won the Heisman Trophy. Like, I just think that if this was a player that was taller, if he fit the mold of the typical quarterback that is supposed to be successful in the NFL, nobody would be questioning this with his numbers and stats coming out of college. So the only thing that people are looking, and then the fact that we had the Johnny Manziel situation. And so people are looking at Baker Mayfield as if he's another Johnny Manziel. And if people can learn to separate the two, if they can look at it as two totally different separate situations, even going into negotiations, yes, he's in his 4th year. If you're going to give him an extension now, there's nothing to talk about next year. He signed. You know what I'm saying? If he signs an extension this year, we don't need to talk about next year because he's already under contract. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking if there has to be any negotiations moving forward where Baker, he has a little bit of an argument on his end, and the Browns have some argument on their end based on the history of quarterbacks in with the Browns organization in the NFL. So it'll be interesting to see. And
for sure,
if Baker plays on a franchise tag, I mean, I just think all parties benefit in that situation. And then, because people are expecting, and imagine how much money he could command if, because a lot of people would expect this team to compete, go to the playoffs, go deep in the playoffs, possibly make the Super Bowl in the 2021 season. So if that happens, I just think, I've never been in a position of a player who can say yes or no to millions of dollars.
Right.
But at the same time, it's just like, when does this many more million and this many less million become a factor in how you make your decision? You know what I'm saying? You weren't a millionaire before, but you're going to be a millionaire in either situation. So I just think to me, it's tough. You know what I mean? I know people think like you need to, people in their ear, like you need to get as much as you can for your grandkids or your grandkids. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I grew up in the projects. I can't think past my kids.
I feel you. I will say this, though, contract-wise. Denzel Ward, he's going to demand some money. Nick Chubb, damn sure going to demand some money. And those are two guys that you're going to have to think about if you want to keep them around for the long term or not. And their long-term futures will maybe tied into how much money gets dedicated to Baker Mayfield. I know what I know. We both said that what we want or what we would do, but I just got to say I think the Browns are gonna give him every dollar that he wants. I think that they're gonna. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't know if they're going to, give him the 5th year option or sign him to the big contract. But instead of doing that, but at some point, I feel like they're going to throw every dollar at him. This team has gone through a million quarterbacks in the last 20 years. I don't know. I necessarily agree with it, but I'm just saying I think that that's what's going to happen.
I think things that are happening around the NFL, like what's going on with Deshaun Watson, they just gave him the biggest contract.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Not even a half a year ago. and now he don't want to play with him no more. Look at what's happening with Russell Wilson. He got big money. But he went out and earned it.
And he ready to go
money.
too. Yeah.
And now he wants to leave. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of you don't give these guys. You know what I'm saying? I think we're coming to a time where you can't just give the quarterback the money just because they're the quarterback. If teams, owners,
it's arguable.
Say if you and I own the team, you know, that Patrick Mahomes contract
$500 million
really was a detriment to teams moving forward because you think, look at what happened to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
I understand.
You pay $500,000 for that.
I understand that. Okay, well, let me respond to that. He lost to the GOAT, one, and Patrick Mahomes is a one of one. There's no other Patrick. If I pay you $500 million, yeah, over 10 years,
you better overcome.
You want 10 Super Bowls?
You better overcome something in a game. That's all I'm saying.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. But he lost to the GOAT. I mean, who he lost to? How many other people have lost to that man? Hey, I get it.
Don't give me the GOAT because the GOAT been playing for way less than that. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes got paid way more than Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's supposed to. You supposed to get whatever dollar whatever the most. Bro, you're tying his contract into the Super Bowl, which he was minus 2 offensive linemen and everything else that we saw.
Into how you're going to perform moving forward. You give me this much money, I better be the man.
So he can't lose. So what you're saying is he cannot lose another game.
So what I'm saying is NFL teams should stop playing players for what they did.
But the quarterback is the most important position we're talking about American sports. It's the most important position in American sports. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You name me a team that doesn't have a good quarterback, and I'll tell you when they got eliminated and why. It's going to be because they didn't have a good quarterback. At the end of the day, which Rams team, first of all? Last year?
They went to Super Bowl.
They didn't go to the Super Bowl last year. We just talked about it. The Chiefs and the Buccaneers went to the Super Bowl
recently with a quarterback that nobody thinks is good. So
and where are they now?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter. They just traded him because he's trash, first of all. And then this year they got beat up in the first game of the playoffs, and they haven't done anything mainly because they don't have a good quarterback. Like the rest of their team carried them as far as a good team outside of a good quarterback can carry you. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a good quarterback, save for that 2000 Baltimore Ravens team, save for them, which was 21 years ago. Every other team, Tom Brady, have been to 10 Super Bowls in the last 20 years, and he's the GOAT. So quarterbacks are important. And I will.
And a quarterback that I paid $500 million to couldn't win me a Super Bowl.
Man, they didn't give him a $500 million check.
Yes,
they're going to be making payments on that for the next 10 years. And I want to ask you this because we going at 30 minutes, and I know people got stuff to do. On the position of the NFL, and you talking about how much quarterbacks are making, do you think that the hard salary cap in the NFL is a little antiquated? Maybe we need to come off of that because if you have a quarterback like a Patrick Mahomes or anybody you deem that deserves that kind of money, it hampers and restricts you from how much you can pay the rest of your team, but you still need to pay 52 other guys on that roster. So do you think that the NFL needs to come up off of that hard salary cap, or do you think that has nothing to do with this?
I think the salary cap is what the salary cap is, and I don't understand how the makers of it they're supposed to be lowering it this year or whatever they're doing. But
I think they added money to it.
Well, it's still,
so you can spend more money now, basically, is what the NFL is allowing teams to do.
Okay, so this goes against your argument.
No, because it's still a hard cap, though. So what I mean is, like, it's just $100 for a round number. The NFL says every team can spend $100 to fill out their roster, whereas in the NBA, you can pay a luxury tax if you want to go over the salary cap because it's not a hard cap, it's a soft cap. So if you want to go over that like Dan Gilbert when he was chasing rings with LeBron, you can pay over that. They're just going to tax you on that. But it allows you more flexibility in your roster. is all I'm saying. The NFL, there is no flexibility, which is why Deshaun Watson wants out and why, Russell Wilson is getting sacked every week, 10 times a week, because they can't fill out the roster. They can't pay for an offensive line because the quarterback has all the money.
Well, Matt, I don't know what side of the argument you on. Are you saying that they have enough money or they can't spend enough money?
I'm asking you if you think that the hard salary cap is good or bad for the NFL. And I think that your response is that it is what it is. And I get that too.
I think it is what it is. It's just as a player, and this, you have to throw it back on the players at some point. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to take the amount of money that's going to be a detriment to the team in the future, or are you about winning championships?
Bro, you can't tell me. You gonna tell me to take less money? You gonna tell me to take less money for you? I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna tell you to take a fair amount of money for your life.
To me, what's fair is whatever they're willing to offer me. Right. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. We both work for Radio One. Okay. All right. Radio One has a hard salary cap. All right. They say has. Yo, I'm trying to double your salary, man. I'm trying to double your salary right now, but this the only thing. Matty Wills, he going to only have his show 1 day a week instead of 5 days a week, and we're going to have to pay him a little bit less because that hard salary cap money is going to you because we need you to do this production. No, it's the same thing. And you not going to not eat for me to eat. You can't ask them dudes not to take that money, man.
You're eating right now for other people not to eat. So what I'm saying is you can't compare that to me. You know what I'm saying?
Not fair.
Stop trying to throw that on me. Trying to present a situation. Are you going to take less money, Matt? You're probably not.
No, hell no.
But you know what you're not dealing with, Matty Wells? It's millions of dollars. These dudes are talking about millions of dollars. Like millions of dollars will change anyone's lifestyle. It'll change their family's lifestyle. So you got to think about how many millions do I need versus how many millions I could argue to get. You know what I'm saying? You can argue to get as many millions as you want, and you can pay for your great-great-great-grandchildren's grandchildren. But what is that going to mean for the generations to come? The next generation, the generation after that. You have to give somebody something to start off with something. So I'm not telling you to, take some BS. I want you to get what you're worth. But what is it that you think you're worth? Do you think that because the market says or the media says this, that I should be just draining the team of all of their money and then complain that they can't pay anybody else to come over here and play with me? Or am I going to take some money that I know is going to help me be sufficient in my life and my generations after me? If that's going to be cool. Because it's all about the individual at that point.
Hey, I hear you, but it's a business too at the end of the day, and that's their job. So let's close with this. Tracy asked a few minutes ago about Jarvis Landry, and I didn't think it was anything up with Jarvis Landry, but I Googled his name. Did you see his tweet the other day?
No. I saw it.
There's a little bit of so I guess there's a little speculation. His tweet said, if one door closes, that means bigger ones are about to open. This was on February 25th at 11 o'clock at night. I found an article written by Dog Pound Daily suggesting this could mean he expects to be traded or released. Obviously, we haven't seen any of these stories with ESPN or Bleacher Report or anybody like that. I can't imagine the Browns moving on from Jarvis Landry. I thought that he was probably our best, in the absence of Odell Beckham, our best perimeter player last season. Even in just his leadership, even with him just talking to the players, you could see that the guys respect him. So I don't know anything. I don't have anything else outside of just speculation. I don't believe Jarvis is going anywhere, but I'm just seeing this tweet myself.
Well, I think people misconstrue text messages. They misconstrue tweets. I don't know what caused him to make that tweet at that time that he made it, but I'm just gonna trust in Andrew Berry in the front office, the people that are in charge of making the decisions. The people that are in charge of making the decisions at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because just like you and I can see that Jarvis Landry is an integral part of this offense, I'm sure that they see that as well. So if Jarvis Landry ends up, not with the Cleveland Browns, I would be totally caught off guard by that.
I think that would be dumb. I think that would be that would be ridiculously stupid if they did that.
But if they did it, what could you and I do about it? You know what I mean?
See,
so what I'm saying
now I found the reason we beef, and I'm gonna save this for the next show. Now I've discovered the reason we beef about the Browns.
Because I don't want to argue.
Nah, I mean, yeah, you can disguise it as such. I think that you ride with the uniform regardless, and you don't allow yourself to be critical of certain things you see playing out, even when your football brain tells you Josh McCown can't be the quarterback for this team
What did
for
I
next
just
season.
say about Jarvis Landry?
You love, dude. I get it, man. You said you like him. You want him to be on the team. You'll be taken off guard. However, if he's not here, you trust Andrew Berry. I don't ride with that, man. I don't ride with that. Is all I'm saying.
So if let's say this: if Andrew Berry were to make a move that ended up Jarvis Landry not a Cleveland Brown, you would want to fire Andrew Berry?
I'm not saying that. I would wholeheartedly disagree with it, and I would think that it's stupid, and I would get on it, and I would get on this show and tell you that Andrew Berry made a stupid decision. We don't have wide receivers as it is.
I would express my disappointment in Jarvis Landry not being with the team anymore either. But I'm old, man. I've seen plenty of dudes wear that.
Come and go. I know.
I have a jersey on the way. It took them a long time to even, when I tracked my order, that it's shipping now, and I still have to wait a couple weeks to get this jersey. But at the same time,
bet it's not an Odell jersey.
Dude, I would never pay money for anybody's number ever again on the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to find out a number that I can use that nobody's wearing, and I'm going to put my name on the jersey. If I pay any money, you know why? Because look what happened. I bought Joe Hayden jerseys. Look what happened with that.
Right. I get you.
I get you. Put my name on the back. People like, oh, why you wearing a Zendejo jersey? I'm like, I bought this when Joe Hayden played for them, okay?
Boy.
I'm just saying, it's just, I am not in control of the front office. And I am going to root for the Browns regardless of what move they make.
We all are. I know.
So to be up here crying and moaning if this player is not on the team next year, or if this player is not on the team next year, I can't do that. I have to look at what we have, see, and analyze that moving forward.
I'm with you. I get it. Again, this is the Cavs show. We spent most of the time talking about the Browns. It's probably how a lot of these episodes are going to go. But shout out to the Cavs, man. 3-game winning streak. 3-game winning streak. They beat Philly. So, hey, only 3 games back of the 8th place.
I'm going to be honest. I thought that was a 1-game winning streak because I've seen them losing so much that I maybe skipped the 2 games that they won before this one.
Yeah. Oh, it's been a rough go.
It's been
a rough go.
Bickerstaff. I don't know if he'll be the head coach of the Cavs next year. But please join us each and every week because we're going to continue to have these conversations about Cleveland. I wanted to go to the Golden Globes. I ain't even going to lie. The Cavs was losing so bad. I wanted to know what y'all thought about Andra Day because Billie Andra Day was bearing her soul in that movie. I'm talking about, I know her in places I didn't even know I was going to know Andra Day before that movie ended. But did you see it?
No, I did not.
Oh my God!
I haven't seen a movie.
Have anybody seen that movie? When Andra Day was playing Billie Holiday, she got loose in that movie. I'm just telling you, it's rated R for a reason. And Andra Day was not shy, so she's nominated for a Golden Globe. Shout out to Judas and the Black Messiah. Daniel Kaluuya, he's nominated. I know I took it in another direction, but I just wanted to say that because tomorrow starts Women's History Month, and I just wanted
right.
to say that. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to get that in there. Sorry, I ain't mean to go off on a tangent.
All good, all good. We'll be back next Sunday and every Sunday. They'll be in the middle of the All-Star break next Sunday when we wrap. Actually, we'll have to adjust that time because I don't know. We'll talk off camera.
You going to Atlanta?
I got to get the schedule. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. I'll be at the crib. Go on, get us out of here, dog.
All right. That's what it is. I'm DJ Hazmat.
I'm Matty Wills. We'll see y'all next week.
Matt Live. Peace.